The topic for February 2017 is Patrick Lecture 236, The Superstition of Pessimism. And I'd like to put an emphasis in this short introduction on the word superstition. What superstition means literally, if you go to the dictionary, and I find that I do that because we very often softly interpret things the way we want them to mean. I do the same thing. So when I went to the dictionary on superstition, what I found was that it is an irrational belief that two things are connected that are simply not connected. So, for instance, if I believe that if I take a vitamin C pill every morning, I won't get a cold, there's a possibility that that is true. Even if it is not true, it is not irrational to believe that upping a certain vitamin might not help your body combat a cold. If I believe that taking a vitamin C pill will prevent me from getting cancer, that's a bit of a stretch. But it's not irrational in the sense that anything that improves my body function could conceivably fight against cancer. It's a really thin connection, but there is a connection. However, if I believe that taking a vitamin C pill will bring me happiness, this ventures into the territory of irrational. Even though it may seem to be true, because after all, if my health is better, then I will be happier. So there's a very indirect path there, but we're veering off into superstition. What goes beyond that is if I take a vitamin C pill, traffic won't be as bad this morning on the freeway. That's irrational. There is no connection between my personal health and the traffic on the freeway. So what I'm trying to give here is an idea of how a relatively reasonable belief can veer into a thinly connected belief, which can veer into, I don't know, maybe, into irrational. The guide here is talking about irrational beliefs. And as part of the study guide, I have a page of 11 irrational beliefs that was developed for a certain psychological modality. It was a very interesting list to find. One of the beliefs is, for instance, it is easier to avoid difficulties and responsibilities than to face them. That can seem to be true in the short term. Dodging a task can make you feel like, whoa, I'm so relaxed. Life is so much easier because I didn't have to do that task. In spiritual work, we're being asked to consider the long term. Is your happiness actually improved because you dodged a task or a responsibility? Or are you not kicking the can down the road? And you haven't gotten that far down the road, so you don't see that yet. We're being asked to look at a larger picture rather than an hour and a half. So the superstition of pessimism is about how we are attempting to create happiness by relying on some superstition. And specifically, what we may be trying to do is avoid disappointment by believing in less, by telling ourselves to want less. In other words, if I am pessimistic, I won't be disappointed. If I am optimistic, my heart could be broken. So the superstition becomes, if I am pessimistic, then I won't be disappointed, my heart won't be broken. Again, that may be true, let's say for an hour and a half. But what we are doing is we are lowering our vision. We are emptying our hearts. We are not risking growth, development, vision. We're no longer looking at what is possible. We're looking at what we can get in the moment. And that pessimistic viewpoint makes us smaller. It brings our vision in to just daily activities instead of seeing the vision of what our life can be. So that is, in essence, what the superstition of pessimism is about. I invite you to read the lecture. It's a really cool lecture, Pathwork Lecture 236, and thanks for listening.